kids, it's me. Today we are going to talk about some different ways that you can find more books and add them to your book list, your might maybe read list. Um, Today we're going to talk about just some ways that I find books and yeah. So one of my favorite places to go for books is on Amazon. And if the in the scroll bar at the top, you can type in a book that you love. So I'm going to do Fish in a Tree. I put a fish, it's not really a fish in a tree. But if you do Fish in a Tree, this is a book that I really liked. Um, you can see right here, it kind of gives you an idea of what is going to happen in the book, so you can read about it. But what I like about it is if you scroll down, there's a section that says customers who bought this item also bought. And you can kind of look to see what other books people who like this book also liked. I find most of my books this way, actually. I look at the stars down at the bottom of the page, just kind of as a reference if I'm deciding among a couple of them. So for example, here's one for the Murphys. If I click on that one, you can see again, here is the synopsis of the book. But what I really like about Amazon, everyone, is that over on the side for most of the books, you can click on the cover of the book and it will bring up an excerpt from that book. So you can see kind of the chapters, and there's generally, if not always, a chapter so that you can kind of see and read a little bit to decide if it's what you're looking for. But again, then I can go back down here. I can do some more scrolling. There's Out of My Mind. A lot of people have read that, Rain, Rain, because of Mr. Terup. You can probably see books that you like if this is where you are. A Long Walk to Water, I'm just going to do a random mini book talk in here, was an accidental find for me. And I liked it. It's about refugees from Sudan based on a true story. It was just really great. Gave me new perspective on things, which I always love. There's also the listen feature, which allows you to listen to part of the book as well. And again, you still have more down here. So another way that I find books personally is, and then you all should be familiar with this, is I go to the state book award list. So for example, here in Missouri, we have the Missouri Awards. And so the Missouri Association of School Librarians. And then for you all, primarily what you're going to look at are the Mark Twain list, which is kind of that 4th through 6th grade list. And then down at the bottom, the Truman list is the 6th through 8th grade list. And you're going to find books on here that, maybe are a little bit more mature, but they're definitely in that kind of middle school range of what's starting to become popular. This list is actually for the 2017-18 school year, which is next school year, and so it hasn't been narrowed down quite yet. Here's the same award list, but it's for this year. You can see that they have it narrowed down. I'm always impressed with books that are on this list, both lists actually. But you don't just have to go from the year that is current. You can also start looking back. This was the 2015-16 final nominations. And this one right here is the 2013 Truman Awards. And there's tons of great books on here as well that still get read quite frequently today. So another place that I will go is there's some different groups out there. Oh, well, not only can you look for the Missouri Book Award where we live, but you may also be able to scroll through a lot of other states. And so I found this website, thank you, Cynthia Smith, and she has posted the book award lists for all of the different states. And so sometimes I will go and look at what a couple of different states say are the good choices, and then I kind of compare like Athlete versus Mathlete I've read. I haven't read some of these other ones. I got to get those on my list. But you can kind of go, maybe you have a best friend who lives in a certain state and you can go look at his or her state. Yeah, there's Wisconsin. I love seeing the names of some of these. I think that's awesome. So that's another way that I find different books is from state book award lists. And then finally, well, not finally, but another way that I find it is there's certain groups out there. This is called the Nerdy Book Club. It's a group of teachers and librarians who get kind of early access to a lot of books. And I follow them on Twitter to get more recent titles. And they do lists of different types of books. So this is the middle grade fiction. This Honorable Perry T. Cook book is kind of all over the place right now. That's definitely on my Radar's Brave as You is my next one I'm going to read. I just finished this one. This one's one of the most beautifully written books I've ever read, Hour of the Bees. So I've read a lot of these that are on here, and the rest of them I'm getting as soon as I can. But I really am impressed when when a lot of teachers start talking about certain books. And finally, sometimes I will simply do something like middle grade books 2016, because that's where we are. And I also like sometimes doing the year that we're in or just past, because I like to kind of stay current on what's happening. And so here's one list. You can see down here, these are all different books that have been recommended based on that. And then like here's someone else's list from Read Brightly. And she just kind of has this whole, oh, there's that Perry T. Cookbook again. But you can see there's a synopsis on here and ways that you can buy these books. So anyway, kids, I just wanted to show you a couple of ways that I find books, and keep adding to those lists because it's important to have something up next. So I can't wait to see y'all. I will talk to you soon.